Alright, let's take a look at the Korean forums again. So I hope the showcase goes well. As long as there's no bloodshed or anything like that, it's all good. So there's some comments here. I don't care about the content of the showcase, since it's just going to be a joke anyway, and I wish someone would just curse at Choi Dong-min, that's the current director of Mabinogi. Choi Dong-min is a piece of crap, so a lot of people don't like him. It's fortunate that they're at least a little greedy, but I'm worried that violence might break out. I just wish the director would step down. He keeps ruining Mabinogi with weird patches, so if he's incompetent, he should just step down. Or he'll be forced out by user protests. Either way, I hope we never see that director again. So yeah, a lot of Korean players don't like Choi Dong-min. Of course, the director change will immediately improve the game, but you never know until you try. We need to commit to a long-term plan, and I believe we all need to get involved and change everything. Mabinogi is heading down a downward spiral right now. Before things get any worse, shouldn't we do something to prevent the game from getting any worse? No, if that director ends up getting beaten up by users and stepping down, Nexon and the next director will be cautious, or they might even shut down the game altogether. From Nexon's perspective, even Mabi has been around for a long time. It's not a major source of revenue they need to maintain. It's not about seeing what's good, but rather about considering the worst. It's a real headache. Yeah, but it always runs the worst. So yeah, people do not like the current director, Choi Dong-min, who made all the recent dungeon changes and equipment changes. The game is pitiful. I feel bad for users when I see them ruined by bad management. And there are no comments on this one. When I see the mess of patching, I wonder if it's really paralyzed. They deleted all the gimmicks in the dungeon and made a strange dungeon that's worse than a mobile game. So in the end, they couldn't even beat the Breleth dungeon properly. So they're reshaking off all the new mid-level and long-term users. It's really amazing, thanks to the crappy system, like, I'm assuming that's the near tight, might just be a little translation thing there. Over 30 people have quit the game because it was already boring and there's nothing left to do. It's already too late to even bother talking about the economy or anything. So I think there's some comments on this one. It's a bit annoying that everyone except the Vanguard is just showing off. So I'm assuming this guy means everyone except for the explosive Vanguard Arcana users. And now the houses of lower tier users who are living well are all being bulldozed. So this guy is talking about Choi Dong-min. He's the type of guy who'd just swipe all existing users, shut down the server, and reopen it with Unreal, and then invest again to grow it. And I'm just the guy who created a character, so this is a new Mabinogi player in Korea, and they have to deal with all these bad changes that Choi Dong-min is making. If you want to make hunting fun, you should look back at some of the old dungeons. That's a good point. So rather than just creating a pattern of killing enemies with no one-hit skills and dealing no damage, I'd like to recall some of the gimmicks of dungeons like the old Piaka dungeon. I don't know which dungeon or raid that is. The music dungeon, the Elven Knights training grounds bosses. Unlike before, where the damage is somewhat satisfied, as the damage is satisfied, I think it should have gone... I think it should have gone in the direction of requiring natural party play or versatility by hitting specific bosses or monsters with specific gimmicks or consumable weapons to lower their defense and protection. So in the comments, Idia Ruins dungeon is also of interest. So each jewel golem has a nice gimmick. They don't take damage unless you attack them with a specific arrow. So they're talking about the Longa dungeon where there's those magic golems, and you need one of those special arrows to hit them with to deal damage. Like the amethyst arrows, the topaz arrows, those. In Mabinogi, paralysis is currently called a haunted house. Certainly the old dungeons had those gimmicks, making them worth exploring. These days they've become downright bizarre. I hope Mabinogi can improve itself, if not to the point where it once was, then at least to the same level as it once was. Yeah, I think that there is a lot that can be done for Idia dungeons and other dungeons. It feels like dungeons are not unique anymore, and Idia dungeons and castle dungeons keep getting left out of dungeon updates, which isn't good. But what is the mindset of people going to this showcase? That's going to be the winter showcase that will be on the 29th in Korea, and I think it's going to be like on the 28th at 9 p.m. in the NA for West Coast players, and for East Coast players it should be on the 29th at midnight. This time it seems like Choi Dong-min will not appear in person and will hide gloomily behind the screen. I'm not sure what he's going to do at this winter showcase, but that might not be a bad idea given how much all the Korean players hate him right now. So yeah, people are not happy about the dungeon update. And like tech missions are shorter, they're no longer fun. Like it's looking really bad, and the Korean players do not like it. So a lot of people want Choi Dong-min to step down, and that's even going on in the NA forums too, which are pretty inactive, but there are still a few players in the NA forums that post stuff. So we have this post here. I'm not gonna read all this because it's pretty long, but like there's a lot of complaints about dungeons and skills, and like how tech doing missions were shortened and made way too easy. So you can thank Choi Dong-min for all these bad decisions that are currently going on right now. So yeah, I think Mabinogi isn't doing too good right now. I think they need to fix the dungeon update. It feels like a lot of older dungeons are no longer relevant. Idia dungeons and castle dungeons have been left out of every dungeon update for years now, and it feels like any normal dungeon, basic dungeon, intermediate dungeon, and advanced dungeon are kind of useless. There's no real point in even running them anymore, so they're not doing anything to like improve old dungeons. So it's looking really bad.